Welcome back. The Future Awards is pretty popular, and it's its 8th season this year. And I have someone from the future, Debola Williams of the future. How are you doing today, sir?
Good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. I noticed that nominations are open again.
Yes, they're open.
Yeah. So what's happening? What am I supposed to do to nominate myself?
Okay. So I mean, it's the 8th season. You know, it's been 7 years of inspiring young Nigerian leaders. It's been 7 years of looking for strong, positive images. You know, to give hope. You know, to the young Africans, to say to them that, you know, you can make all the excuses in the world and say no light, no water, no infrastructure from government. But what is more is the fact that you can see young Nigerians who are 26, 22, 28, who are defying the status quo, you know, of all the negativity around, to rise up and become something, you know, run businesses of $1 million, $500 million, 100,000 naira. So we don't get it mixed up and think it's all rosy, you know. And so we've done that for the last 7 years. We've been to 23 states across Nigeria. We've also taken the Future Awards to Ghana, to South Africa, to Ethiopia, to London, engaging the Nigerian community and the African community there. So this is the 8th edition, and yes, nominations have opened. This year we go continental. Because we partnered with the African Union as part of their 50th celebration of the African Union's existence. So we have done a little bit of changes here and there for the awards, and part of it is the most obvious one, which is the fact that we've gone continental. And so we have the biggest prize of the awards this year, which is the Young Person of the Year, Going Africa. So the nomination would now be 15 categories in Nigeria, and the 16th one, which is the biggest of the category, would have nominees from across.
So let's just get this clear. Does it mean Nigerians in South Africa or South Africans are going to be eligible?
No, Nigerians all over the world are ordinarily eligible for the awards.
Okay.
That's one. Two, we've now gone continental with starting with the Young Person of the Year category.
So a Ghanaian is eligible?
A Ghanaian is eligible.
Okay.
A Kenyan is eligible. Ugandan is eligible. Yes, that's what it's done. And then also the name of the award has moved from just an award to the Future Prize. You know, that was the light bulb that came last year when we got a letter from the World Bank, you know, when they sent us a letter commending the work the Future Awards has done, you know, for the last 7 years. And they particularly said, you know, when we think of the Future Awards, we think of the Nobel Prize for young Africans. You know, at that moment we thought, wow, this is actually true, you know. So from that point on, we started tilting the name more towards the Future Prize in excellence, the Future Prize in business, the Future Prize in advocacy, and on and on.
That's very impressive that you're trying to go continental at least. And I think, how are you planning on working around this? Because I know Nigeria alone is already a serious problem, I know. Absolutely. How are you going to work around with all of this?
Which is why we partner
with enlightenment for now. Which is why with other countries that don't know yet.
Don't know yet.
Future is.
You're right. Which is why we partner with the African Union.
Okay.
You know, and then of course we are reaching out to a couple of our friends in the African Leadership Network and a couple of other African organizations that we've worked with over time. I mean, with the Future Awards, we've been able to engage different African organizations across the continent. So with their help and the fact that they also are plugged into networks, you know, of other African community and organizations, we can be able to identify these young people. And then, of course, with the work we've done from visiting all the countries in the past, Ethiopia, South Africa, and co, we're able to work with the people we have left, you know, and we've kept in touch with. So it's a huge task, you know, but we have capable partners to be able to ensure that it comes to life.
So how does nomination work this time?
Okay, so
how do I nominate somebody?
Same thing. It hasn't changed. You go to the website, which is where we're doing all this publicity. So you go to the website, www.thefutureafrica.com/awards. Take note that it's not thefuturenigeria.com anymore. It's now thefutureafrica.com/awards. You go to the website, there is a form there, you know, that explains to you what you need to fill. So the name of the nominee, the organization, what the person does, and then you also have to write about 300 words why you think this person deserves to be nominated for this award. The categories are listed under it. There are 16 of them. The Future Prize in Business, the Future Prize in Public Service, you know, and all of that. 16 of them listed on the website. So if you go to www.thefutureafrica.com/awards, you can get all the information about how to nominate. And the awards, of course, will hold this year in August, where we'll also be having a continental figure who will be giving the keynote speech. At the awards, he will not reveal the name. You will not reveal the name of the person yet. but there will be quite an interesting character who's a continental figure and a role model for change, a role model for development, a role model to inspire leadership amongst young people, which has always been what the Future Awards has been about. When we set out the Future Awards, to do the Future Awards in 2005, what we set ourselves was we wanted to inspire enterprise. We wanted to build enterprise and inspire leadership. Build enterprise by getting young people to get into business. Even the ones who are in entertainment to begin to see it as a business. So when we have, say for example, last year, in the past, Producer of the Year category, the producer would have to have a studio, would have to employ a certain amount of staff. There has to be a chain of development that has come from your business. And so from that, you're able to communicate and you're able to contribute to the economic landscape of the country. So that's building enterprise. And then the other part is inspiring leadership. And how do you inspire leadership? The fact that you've been able to run a business and been able to lead an organization, manage HR issues, manage profit, manage account balancing, and all of that, you have an idea of what it is to lead, even if it's a small organization. And ultimately, the idea of that is that in some years to come, when the leadership of this country will then get into the hands of the people we've been grooming since 2005, they would have an experience. They have some sort of experience, either from their businesses or from the work they've done with other people, which you find many times that politicians do not have. Politicians are politicians. You cannot show a background of where they've grown something. And that's also the problem of Nigeria, the fact that we have a lot of politicians who go to take. It's a taking system. It's not a growing system. So that was part of the problems we had to solve.
Okay, quickly, when does the nominations end? Nominations
will end on the 10th of June.
Okay.
20th of June. On the 20th of June, on the 20th of June. It kicked off on the 29th of May.
Okay.
And on the 20th of June.
So you have roughly 2 weeks.
So about
a week and a half.
Yes. I mean, sometimes there is a bit of an extension. Sometimes, but sometimes the nominations are so overwhelming. That we want to really close so quickly so that, but everybody can nominate. Now, something to note is the fact that you can nominate yourself. That's something to note.
I always do that.
Yeah. Okay, confession. You can nominate yourself, because you might just assume that people will nominate you and they just might not.
Yeah. Very impressive. Okay, thank you very much. thefutureafrica.com/award.
Yes.
And anybody can nominate.
Anybody can nominate.
What's the age?
It still remains 18 to 31.
Okay.
But the African category is the only one that people across Africa can be nominated for. Yeah. And the Future Awards, as this year we're named Nigeria's most important youth award by Forbes International.
Big deal.
You notice that I said Forbes International. Nigeria, Forbes Africa.
Thank you very much, Debola. We'll be having you around over the months to
hopefully
keep us abreast of all the development.
Past winners of the Future Awards also come around to share their stories.
All right. Thank you very much. When we come back, I have a group of people who are very noisy on social media. We're going to see if they can actually talk as much as they do. We'll be right back after this.